Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Trigger warning. Today we will be discussing ED, weight loss, and body image issues. If this is something that triggers you in any way, please do not watch this video and come back for the next one. Love you guys. XOXO, Hailey. I am so freaking excited about today's video. It feels so empowering to be sitting in front of you guys today, a whole year later, discussing my weight loss journey. So last year, I had desperately been trying to figure out how I can truly lose some weight. I was uncomfortable, I was lethargic, and I felt a little bit puffy. I wanted to take responsibility for my life in a way where I didn't just feel sexy and beautiful on the inside, because the truth is, I totally did. And I wanted to feel fully myself on the outside. But I was kind of curious about what I would look like if I lost all of the weight that I put on in my 20s. I never actually knew what it felt like to be skinny as an adult. I am below the weight that I was in high school. I feel like this is what I look like as an adult, as a woman, with just taking good care of myself and seeing what I would have been had I not have put on excess weight all of these years. Everyone's journey starts at their own particular time, and mine was at age 26. And I'm really excited to be sitting with you guys today, and I'm gonna go over all of the untold truths, things about dating, diet, your own personal relationship with your body. We're gonna get into it all today. 1 year later, what it feels like to be skinny as an adult woman who especially sees myself quite a bit because I film myself for a living. So I really got to see the changes over the past year to my face, my body, my voice, my aura. It's just such a beautiful thing, and I'm excited to get into it all. We're gonna get into the good, the bad, and the indifferent about losing this weight, and hopefully this can serve you guys as some sort of inspiration, some sort of motivation to possibly start your own journey, or just to get that confirmation that you needed to really feel full and whole in your decision to take better care of yourself. If you like this type of content, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for more videos like it. I also am going to be listing the playlist of all of my weight loss content that I made this year in the description box, so please click that below if you want to keep up and you have any other questions after today's video that maybe were not answered. They are probably answered in one of those videos. All right, guys, let's get into today's topic. Hey guys, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is HomeAglow. I have been using them religiously for months. If you want to add a little bit of luxury into your life for an affordable price, then this particular sponsor is for you. So a little bit about HomeAglow. It is a 5-star cleaning service where they essentially set you up with the top cleaners in your area for a discounted price. You are going to be able to hire someone to come clean your space, make it beautiful. You can do something as easy as just a quick little tidy of the home. They even have people who are willing to organize your home. I know for me, when I book my cleaner, I have a specific list of things that I ask her to do, like reorganizing my kitchen, making sure to deep clean my floors, clean my baseboards. It really just allows you to tailor your cleaning service to your liking. There's also a membership program that I believe is so worth it if you like having routine cleanings, because it essentially saves you $30 an hour on all future cleanings, and you're gonna pay the Forever Clean membership. And you can essentially book unlimited cleanings for as low as $19 an hour. So the Forever Clean membership is a really great way to have a discounted option in really making sure that you have your home or wherever you want someone to clean monthly. I love how I have control over my cleaning schedule. They're really flexible with making sure that your cleaners can come at the times that you wish. If you guys are into that and you want to step up your cleaning game in your life, then please visit homeaglow.com/Hailey Gamba, or you can click this QR code that will be on the screen either here or here. It is such an incredible deal. You guys are going to love HomeAglow so much. My home has never been so tidy. So definitely click the link and try it out and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's get into the rest of today's video. First, I want to get into some stats. I wrote them down because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I forget a lot of these things. When I first weighed myself last year, when I started my cucumber pepper soup diet, I weighed 182 on 9/28. So on September 28th, I was weighing 182 pounds. Today, currently, I weighed myself this morning because I knew I was going to be filming this video. I weighed 144.7 pounds. So let's just round that up to 145. I weigh 145 pounds now, which is like a 37-pound weight loss. And that feels incredible. When I started this journey, I really actually thought I was going to only lose 10 to 15 pounds, or I guess I should say that I thought that that was all I needed to lose. And then I just kept losing and kept losing and kept losing. And over the course of my adult life, because this video isn't just about what I did within the year, but what I did for my overall adult womanhood, is I lost 50 pounds since my heaviest. So, and I mean over 50 pounds, because I believe my heaviest was 200 pounds. I remember seeing it on the scale. I want to say I was like 20 or 21, maybe 22 years old. And then I am now 145. So you guys know the math, that's over 50 pounds, and I just feel so incredible. I am 5'6", that's my height, and I am 27 years old, so I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of that before we get into the rest of today's questions and answers. So, let's first talk about what I am currently doing to maintain this body. When I first lost the weight, I said to myself, oh my God, that was easy, because it kind of was. I just switched around my diet a little bit, and I really cut out a majority of what I was eating and started fresh with whole food, plant-based, and a lot less food. Because something that I used to do in the past was I would diet, which means I would like eat good things, but I would eat them in abundance and in surplus. And what I've learned about my body is I do need to be in a little bit of a deficit to maintain a weight loss. That is just something that I notice. I can't work out crazy 5 times a week and eat crazy and think that I'm going to still lose weight. I have learned that the balance is eating pretty low cal and working out at a rate that fits my lifestyle. So in the beginning, I was in a severe caloric deficit. I was eating a lot of raw veggies, a lot of very simple foods. I then, after the 3-month, 4-month mark, which that whole time, 1 to 3 months, I was eating like the same thing every day. I decided to start implementing more things into my diet because I knew that it wouldn't be sustainable to eat the same thing every day for the rest of my life. And I knew that I wanted to maintain this weight loss in a way where it was just me coming into my official higher self body. And it was me maintaining the life that I desired, which was a life where I felt sexy, healthy, and good in my skin. So I started to implement some fish, some potatoes, some rice, some beans, and I would just eat that exactly how I was eating before when it pertains to the deficit, where I wasn't putting so much food on the plate. And this was something that I had to unlearn in my own particular journey, because I used to fill up my plate, fill up my bowl. When I would order Chipotle, I would eat the entire bowl, where like if I got Chipotle today, I probably would only eat about half of that food, because I have officially shrunk my stomach to stop wanting to eat so much. Now, I can imagine that some of you guys think that, limiting yourself in that way could be a little bit difficult, which it was. The first 3 weeks were hell for me. But the truth is, guys, I had an eating disorder where I was overeating. I was binge eating. I would eat when I was bored. I would eat when I watched TV. I would eat in between meals, and I would eat late at night. And I knew that I needed to change my life by completely getting rid of that particular routine. It just wasn't healthy for me. So whatever your particular routine is what you should try to figure out how you can fix so that you can get closer to your goal body and your goal weight. The weight flew off my body. I noticed that my face and my stomach were shrinking, my arms and all of that, and it was just a really cool feeling. I also was drinking a lot of water, and I limited my alcohol use in the beginning. I think I would have like a glass of wine or maybe 2 during the week, and then as winter progressed, I became sober and did not have a sip of alcohol until this summer. So that was kind of what the background of this past year looked like for me. And I started working out, I want to say in March or April. I 36 pounds to be exact. A lot. I was like, wow. I did not work out in the beginning stages because I was in a caloric deficit and I was afraid that I was going to be sick. I was afraid I was going to pass out. I was just getting used to my new diet of eating so much less than I was eating prior that I didn't want to go crazy on the body. I would still take my dogs for daily walks and do little movements here and there, but I was not working out. So I implemented working out again in March and April, and it was a great feeling. I was able to go from being like skinny fat to feeling really comfortable in my skin and seeing the muscles pop. And it was something that made me feel good. I remembered how good it felt to work out. It not only helps me with my physical appearance, but it really improves my mental health. I like who I am when I'm working out. It just makes me an overall better human and I perform better in life. Currently, I weight train, so I love to lift decently heavy. I kind of notice that my body changes depending on my particular workout schedule. I think when you come into your new body, there's a lot of question marks because you don't know how you're gonna feel depending on your presentation. If, let's just say, you were weight training or you were just doing Pilates, and the body does look a little bit different depending on which type of exercises you go towards. If you're a cardio person, you're gonna look a little different than someone who maybe is just doing Pilates and bar. Granted, everybody's body is different anyways, but I have noticed that I like my body look the best when I'm weight training and taking classes. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I do love to walk, and you guys know that. So that is something that I'm implementing. I am still intermittent fasting. I fast naturally now. It's just what my routine calls for. I've never been a big breakfast eater, but I really just don't eat my first meal until like 12 or 1, and then I'll have my final meal at 7. So my window is a lot larger now because I'm maintaining. I'm not trying to lose any more weight, but it's still an intermittent fasting window. So I really like that. Now I want to kind of discuss the mentality around the 1 year feeling of losing this weight. And I wrote down here that I really had to learn in this past year to forgive myself for my carelessness. Now, I struggle. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I struggle to be kind to myself sometimes because it is just in me to have instilled some sort of fight, some sort of hustle, some sort of accountability. And when I do that, sometimes along the way, I could be really difficult on myself. But what I had to learn after reflecting was to forgive myself for being careless. One, you don't know what you don't know. And the truth is, I didn't see myself gain weight the way that I did. I did not have the perception of myself that I have now when I reflect back that I did when I was living it. I did not think I was as big as I was. I did not think that I was as overweight as I was. And it was a shock to me when I started to lose weight and I started to become comfortable in who I am right now. And then I would go back in photos and be flabbergasted. Like, who is that woman? I do not know her. And I was taken aback. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It really took me back and left me speechless, a few photos. And even my own friends will say, I don't remember you looking like that. And I'm like, guys, it's only been a year. That's exactly what I looked like. Isn't that crazy? And I think people just naturally get used to the new version of you and forget how far you've come. But I actually like to look back at it and say, I am grateful that I didn't know and that I wasn't insecure, because the truth was, as much as I wanted to get smaller, I was not walking around hating myself. I wasn't walking around feeling fat or ugly. I just wasn't. This is the perfect time to do it because we want to smell good for our man, if you know what I mean. I was happy living life and I had a really positive relationship with myself, and I'm grateful for that. I am happy that the person I was throughout my 20s, although she could have been a little careless, although she wasn't maybe as disciplined, although she maybe didn't put certain things in priority status, now that I have, I reflect and I say, thank God. Thank God I wasn't living small and I wasn't feeling ugly all the time and I wasn't feeling fat. And granted, I was beautiful. I'm beautiful all the ways, but it just is a little bit of a culture shock looking at myself like that. So that is just something that I am now realizing that is a part of the journey of losing weight, is forgiving past versions of yourself for not knowing what you know now and not doing what you do now. Because sometimes we know we could do better, but we just don't. I want to discuss dating. This is a question that so many of you guys have asked me. And I have to say, my dating life this particular year has been a whirlwind. It has been very interesting. The first half of the year, I wasn't dating. I was focusing on me. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am happiest when I'm doing that. I am the most fulfilled and the happiest when I am just living every day for me. And I know that that can't be forever, because at the end of the day, we're going to pour into other people. We're going to possibly have children and husbands and people that we nurture and care for, and it won't always be about us. But if you ever get the opportunity to have a life for a moment that is all about you, please do it, because it is so cathartic and beautiful. I am just truly the most free, the most happy, and the most beautiful when I'm just nurturing myself. When I start to put my life in other people's lives is when sometimes things get a little dicey, but I digress. I want to answer a very common question that I get, which is, has my dating life improved since losing weight? Now, this is kind of a loaded answer, and I'm going to explain why. When I was on the bigger side, I still was having a very beautiful dating life. Now, not beautiful in the sense of with these incredible people all the time, but I did have incredible people in my life from time to time. I still was getting taken out on dates. I still was being treated with respect. And this was something that was not a huge burden in my life. Now, I will say this, my confidence prior was definitely there, but there was a subconscious insecurity that was present. And I realize this now that I am smaller. And the subconscious insecurity was, if things ended between me and a guy, or if things weren't as great, I would blame it on my appearance. And I think it was a passing thought. It wasn't something that I was like sitting in and talking to my friends about, like, he probably left me because I was fat. Like, no, like, that really isn't and wasn't how I spoke to myself. So that was not a conversation. But when things ended, I believe that was a passing thought. Or when we were intimate, me feeling like I had to suck in or do certain things that like I naturally just don't do now because I'm comfortable in my skin, I'm comfortable in my body. So I think that there was definitely a vacillation between insecure and confident Hailey when I was bigger. Now that I'm smaller, it's not even a thought. If a situation with a guy ends, I never blame myself. I never blame my appearance. It's not that. I feel beautiful and I am beautiful, and I was beautiful then. And the truth is, a lot of the times things never dissipate or end because of that thing. But when you're a woman and you're going through these emotions and you're going through these situations in life, you tend to blame yourself at times, even when it's not your fault. And it usually never is. But I no longer blame myself, and I definitely think that my choices in men has expanded. Now, I always dated guys that I liked. I never had a problem getting the guy that I liked. That was never the issue. I just think that I have more men accessible, more men available. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Men are not the end all be all, ladies, and they're not that great, okay? But it is nice to have a broader dating situation going and experience. And I have dated people that I've never dated before. I've dated a Middle Eastern guy this year, and I've never dated that before. I've dated, different types of people, like older, younger, whatever. And it's been really wonderful to have these experiences to reflect on. But again, dating men, and I really want to put this out there, ladies, it's not something that you need to be skinny for, but it is something that you need to have resilience with. You need to be resilient to date. You need to be strong. You need to be self-assured. And it is nice. It's an added bonus when you feel good in your skin and when you feel slender, skinny, whatever the word is that you want to use today. It feels nice to feel that way when you are dating. So I will say that the best thing and the best takeaway that I can give you guys when it pertains to dating is it's less about them and it's more about you. You feel better in your dating experiences. And all of this self-work and help that you've done towards your image really allows you to blossom in a way that is just beautiful. Your aura is different. Your confidence is different. You feel sexy. You feel beautiful. You're not super obsessed with what you're wearing and how you look and all of that because you know you look good. So it enhances your dating experiences because you're more confident and you're more beautiful from the inside out. I just think that there's less voices in your head when you lose weight and you date. That's just my own particular feeling on that. I don't overperform. I don't oversell. This journey, I realized, was more about being in my divine feminine and enjoying myself and enjoying my life and having these experiences without creating so much meaning around them. I find that there is a meaning to a lot of things, and I am a very passionate, deep person, but some things were meant to just live in that moment. And when you love yourself fully, which this particular journey has allowed me to do that, you just don't harp. You just don't sit in something for so long, because you wake up the next day, you put on a pair of leggings and a cute sports bra, you say, damn, I look really good. And you go about your life, and then the next guy comes into it like it's nothing. It's just a really quick fix. It's a quick confidence boost to just lose weight. It's the best feeling in the world. And you just feel so comfortable in your skin when you're interacting with people and when you're just going about your life. Now, I want to discuss the downsides of weight loss. Now, this could be a downside that is temporary. Again, I just lost the weight. It's very new. I'm just coming into my new skin now, but something that I definitely struggle with is body dysmorphia, or the fear that I'm gonna gain it back. I have this irrational fear, and I've had dreams about it and things like that I gain the weight back. And it's because my journey has just happened. It's still fresh. I'm still 1 foot in my old life, 1 foot in my new life. And not because I want to be in my old life, but because I just left it. It's still kind of there. It's lingering, right? So since losing weight, I think I've lost sight of how much I've lost. In the very beginning, I would look in the mirror and go, like I felt so good, because you guys have to remember, I lost the weight very quickly in the very beginning stages. Like I lost 10 to 15 pounds relatively quick. So I would like love the way I looked in the mirror. And now that it's been a few months, it's been more than a few months, this is what I look like to myself now. And I've lost sight of my weight loss. So when I do go back in photos and I see myself, it is a culture shock, because I'm like, oh, shoot, that is what I looked like. Being in front of the camera, it emphasizes the things that you did not do. So let's just say I was drinking all weekend, right? And I wasn't really working out well. Filming that week, I'm gonna see it. And I think that is a dangerous thing. It's dangerous. Being in front of the camera, it's really difficult. It's difficult to love the way you look. But the reason why I say body dysmorphia is because I think I see someone that doesn't exist. I see a very larger version of myself. And I know this to be true because there have been moments where I will film a video for you guys, and I will look at the video initially as I'm putting it on my computer, and I'll go, oh my God, I see a roll. I look fat here. I don't look like myself. I'll close the computer. I'll go back to it later, or maybe the next day. And it's almost as if that feeling dissipates. Like I don't feel that way again. And I'm like, wait, girl, you were just a little too hard on yourself in that moment. How I've given myself grace throughout this transition is by reminding myself that it's okay to have fear, but this particular journey was rooted in discipline and self-love. And it would be very difficult for me to go backwards. That's just the truth. It is a lot easier to go forwards and get better than it is to go backwards and not. So that's a little thing that I will say to myself when I'm having like a body dysmorphia episode. I just think that my eyes do play tricks on me from time to time, and it's kind of sad, but I think it's just me being hard on myself, and it's definitely something that I believe probably goes away the longer the weight stays off. It's just very fresh for me. And I, again, have so much fear of gaining it back that if I notice that my arm looks a little bit bigger one week or my body, I will be so difficult on myself. But then how I've been really implementing healthy habits to have a better mentality around this is I'll say to myself, okay, Hailey, you did everything you were supposed to do this week. Maybe you're on your cycle or you're getting your cycle soon. That's why your body is fluctuating. We are human. We're not going to look the same all the time. You're on camera. You're always seeing this version of yourself changing because of that. And most people don't have to look at themselves this way all the time. And I think I wouldn't notice it as much if I wasn't on camera. Also, a huge thing is that your clothing doesn't lie. So as long as you're still fitting in your clothes and everything's comfortable, you're good. And even if you do gain a few pounds here and there, it's fine. Get back into your routine and get in line. There's definitely ways to speak to yourself, to talk yourself off the ledge of being very difficult and self-deprecating because it's not helpful. I just think that, going out with your friends, eating out, drinking, doing certain things here and there that makes your life fun and worth living, I don't want you guys to not do because of this fear. And I have to remind myself of that whenever I have these little feelings creep up. I've learned in this experience what workouts I like and what workouts I don't like when it pertains to how it makes my body look. Like right now, I am back to heavy lifting because I noticed that my arms were not looking as toned as I would like. They were looking a lot more toned a few months ago when I was lifting heavy. I took a little break and did light arm workouts, and I just don't like the way that it shaped my arms, which is fine. I'm getting closer to the idea of what I want my life to look like, down to the habits, the routines, and just what I'm doing to look and feel my best that is according to what I want. I think another huge thing to keep in mind is this journey also helps you identify where you stand with people and how people are. People are people pleasers and they are kind to a fault sometimes. And I don't even know if it's genuine kindness or if it's just them being quote unquote respectful. But the truth is, what I learned about myself in this journey is that I have to take responsibility for what I think looks good and what doesn't, because nobody told me that I was overweight. Nobody would call me out when I was not feeling or looking my best. When I started losing weight was when everyone wanted to speak out. Girl, you look great. You're fine. Everything's good. You don't need to lose any more weight. And it was always that repeated conversation. And it made me think, okay, you know what? Let me stop having these conversations with people and let me just do this journey on my own, because it's a Hailey journey. It's a wellness journey. It's a health journey that's for myself. And other people tend to give you fake support sometimes. And it's not because they hate you or don't like you, but they're just conditioned. I think it's a conditioned thing in society to tell people that they look fine the way they are, even when they don't. And I'm okay with somebody being real with me. So I always tell my best friend, like, if I ever completely fall off the goddamn horse and you see me going down a way that isn't beneficial to my appearance, please speak up. If I don't see it, please speak up. But I think that a huge part of this journey has been seeing it, getting ahead of it, being aware and knowing what is best for me and what looks good and all of that. So I think that that's something that I've learned and have been really understanding about the maintenance of this journey. I also kind of want to discuss the new understanding for discipline. I realized that I don't need to feel good to work out. That was something that I used to wait for. I used to wait to feel good, to want it. Now the discipline is just there. I do it because I have to, because I need to, because it makes me feel good. Even if I don't feel good in that moment, I'm going to feel good afterwards. So that's huge. There's something really special about maintaining the body that you desire and that you built. I feel so proud of this because I actually never thought it would be possible. Once I entered my 20s and then lived through them, halfway through them, I really did not see myself ever being slender. It just wasn't a thought I had. Not only was I not thinking about it at all, but it wasn't how I would see myself when I would do daily things. Now, when I would close my eyes and manifest and dream, it would always be a slender version of myself. And I would kind of let that just be present and then ignore it and just try to focus on the other things I would envision. But I learned this year that the discipline needs to be in place for the things that I truly have a burning desire for, and to stop ignoring things just because it's hard or because it's hard to accept that you've fallen short as a person, that you're lazy, that you don't do the things that you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't acknowledge them, you'll never change them. So I've learned that most of the things that we can change, we are choosing to change. And that is a beautiful thing. I know for a fact that I choose the life that I have now, and it's a great, invigorating, incredible, and just empowering feeling as a woman. And weight loss for women and men, I believe, are a little bit different because there's so much power that comes in you and radiance and having just that feminine aura that makes you feel so content with who you are. And that is just a great feeling. If I feel content, I don't do little habits anymore that I used to do, like where I would suck in, or I would try to get an angle perfect, or I would like do little things that were preventing me from looking fat, even though at the end of the day I still was. But I had these micro habits that would try to appear smaller, where I don't do that anymore. I just am free and am myself. If my belly is sticking out because I'm bloated, so be it. I'm still 145 pounds. I still feel good in my skin. I'm still slim according to me. So that is important. And I just find that the discipline is just what needs to be present to continue with this journey in a way where you can maintain it for life. I also find that I am sticking to my word with other things a little bit better. And I have a better relationship with food because I'm aware of where it got me before. I do not overeat, overindulge. I still indulge, I still live, but I don't go too far down. I don't go too far one way. It's not healthy, and I don't even like who I am when I do that. And your body starts to crave the things that it's used to. So if you start making it used to being healthier, eating more plant-based, drinking lots of water, you're gonna start craving those things. You're gonna start wanting those things. And for all of my ladies who wanna know some of like the taboo secret things that happen to you after maintaining this weight loss, one being your sex life improves, okay? The reason why is because you feel so sexy in your skin and you feel empowered. Now, I believe that you need to do that inner work and those affirmations to really embody that, because if you are losing weight but your mentality still sucks, where you are bullying yourself or you're nitpicking yourself or you're pulling yourself apart, you won't have a better sex life. You won't feel sexier in your skin. You're just going to feel worse, which is why when I discuss the body dysmorphia part, I try to give myself small habits that allow it to be a fleeting thought rather than one that just sits for a while and I harp on it. So that is important. Sex gets better. Your relationship with your friends and family get better. You don't have such an obsession with clothing. You know what fits your body and what looks good on your body, but you also know that you look good, period. And you also just have a better sense of what you can and can't do. Prior to this particular weight loss, when I was bigger, I had such a difficult time walking. I would try to go outside and walk and try to lose weight and my feet would hurt. My feet would swell up. It doesn't do that anymore. That doesn't happen to me anymore. And it's a great feeling. So I now feel more comfortable in my body. I feel like I've healed my gut. My cortisol levels are no longer high. I'm able to speak and be the way I am and feel good about it. I'm able to vlog for you guys and not be afraid of looking fat on camera or feeling uncomfortable in my skin. It's a great feeling. I don't need to do certain angles. Like, it gives you a sense of freedom that you've never had before. And that is kind of what I really wanted to stress in this video. I also don't suffer from body acne anymore. I used to have a lot of pimples on my chest. If you guys remember, I used to do body makeup all the time on my body because I would cover up different blemishes here and there. My skin is clearer than ever, and I believe it has a lot to do with the food and the weight loss. The weight loss did so much for my skin, my hair, my body, my hygiene. Like, it fixes so many things, and it's a great feeling. Granted, I was never like a stinky bitch, but I just find that I don't need to go the extra mile anymore to make sure that I don't ever become stinky, because having crevices and things like that tend to get a little sweaty, a little stinky, where I don't have those crevices anymore. That's not something that I deal with. So here I am 1 year later, feeling better than ever, feeling sexier than ever. There's so many blessings that come with this, and it really just outweighs all of the hardships and the negatives that come with this journey. So I hope this inspired you guys. Whether you're a woman or a man watching this, I hope that it did something. It gave you some sort of confirmation, some sort of inspiration that you are not alone on this journey. And being skinny for the first time as an adult is one of the weirdest but most amazing feelings. You feel like you're on top of the world and that you have finally conquered the level of beauty that you've always dreamt of being, even when you were a little girl. I never in a million years thought when I was a child that I would be overweight. It was never a thought of mine, but then when it became actuality and when it became my reality, it was something that I could not get away from. And it was so difficult for me to remove this weight from who I was. And now that I have removed it, it no longer defines me and it no longer hinders me and it doesn't hinder my spirit. Yes, I was confident. No, I did not think I was as big as I was, but there were subconscious things there. There were hindrances there, and I feel like that is gone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you guys have any other questions for me, leave them down below, but please go and watch the playlist that I made of my weight loss journey from this entire year. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Mwah.